Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. Another day, another stream. It is Wednesday, my dudes. The first 3 days went by pretty fast, for me at least. I don't know how that happened. Yep, it's Wednesday. My day was quite uneventful. Hope yours was better. Maybe something interesting happened. Maybe even something good, hopefully. Either way, I hope you enjoyed your like as much day as you had already. Like if you're from America, your day is probably already starting. Here in Europe, it's already evening, so or afternoon. So my day is pretty long already. Without further ado, of course, first things first, we're doing our quick sketch. 30-minute quick sketch, as always, with a random 3D scanned asset included. And also, today, we have something special. I'm gonna start my next bigger project, which is gonna be making a 3D, of course, sculpting a fan art of the upcoming Resident Evil 8 main villain, I guess, which is Lady Dimitrescu or Dimitrescu, whatever how do you spell it or pronounce it. Yep, that's what we're gonna start. I picked out a pose and I grabbed some reference, so everything's ready to just go. But before we do that, of course, we will do our quick sketch. So, of course, we grab our random asset first. Let me switch my scene to my screen cap scene. And then let me grab my random asset. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it 3 times again. Maybe we'll get something new. 30, 16, 25. Okay, let's see if we had 25 before. 25. Go in here, maybe this much. Oh, 25. Easy. Okay, we already had the papyrus. So let's roll again 3 times. 14. Do we have 14 already? 19, 18, 17, 16, 14. Oh, logos. I think that's a new one. I've used that one before. One could be quite interesting. Textures. Nope. Let me extract that first, and then let's see if it's a blend file. Okay, I'll append that. Okay, let's switch back to Blender, and then we can start. Got some fire beats in the background, of course, as always. Heating up the stream. Hope it isn't too loud. It shouldn't be though. Let me append my object. Append right there, and then let me get to it. 3D scans. Which one was it? The globus right there. Source, there it is. Collection, there it is. Oh, that's the big globus. Let's scale it down just so we're not messing with the lighting. Make it maybe more realistic. Not even, wait. Oh no, it's changing. Okay. Let's put it to 2 meters. Should be enough. Yep, there you go. Okay. Let's see if the textures are already applied. Nope, they're not. Okay, let's do that real quick. Go in here. There's the... what is that? Okay, I think there's only one texture we have to connect. Oh, no, there are 2 actually. Why there are 2? Which ones? This one. It's a 4K texture. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay, so it's split in half. Okay. How do you do the other side? I guess a... okay. Wait, why? I mean, okay. We could... maybe we could condense... I mean... condense it? No, not condense it. Whatever you want, whatever you call it. We could put it, both of them in one shader. Actually, let's see if that works. Northern hemisphere. Let me just grab a texture real quick, which we're gonna use as the gradient texture. Put a nice mapping on here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. We could remove this. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, now we don't even have to remove them. Wait, where's the texture? Southern hemisphere. Let's go in here. Just go in here, select everything assigned. So now both sides. Wait, is it just mirrored now? I mean, it looks different, but just to make sure, let me go in here and then we have to rotate it by 90. First of all, we need a color ramp. Put that in there, and then we just switch to a constant. Then we can pull this back to 0.5, so we have 50-50. And now what we can do is rotate it on the y-axis. There you go. And now we have a mask, or we split this sphere in half. What we can do with this is just use this as our mask. We can plug this shader back in and then say color mix RGB. Use this as our factor. Then put this in the top. And then the other one in the bottom. Which means we need the second texture right there. Put that in there. And then plug that in. Easy. Did that work? Hopefully. It looked like it worked. Okay, let's see. If we remove that. No. This one's the northern, right? Can you somehow tell if it's northern or not? No, you can't. Okay, well. This is the southern hemisphere, which has the non-edge version. Okay. Southern is bottom, which is this way. Okay, now I got it. Easy. That's okay, that's looking better. There's no seam. Looks good. Okay, nice. We've put it in one single shader. Nice. Let's remove this and then we can go. Okay, I think I'm ready. Let me grab my timer and then we can start. 30 minutes, of course. Everything's ready. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. I hope it's working. Yep, it is. Let me grab that. Of course, I think I'm gonna keep this texture on there because otherwise it's just a sphere, basically. You could maybe... Let's see, we could change the texture itself, maybe the color. First of all, not step individually. Let's put that over here and then use this converter color ramp. Put that in there. Let's see what we can do. Of course, we can make it way darker like that. Really rigid like that, maybe. Looks good. Okay. Oh, what is that? Doesn't even look like... Okay, that's definitely not a map. I mean, it's a map. It's not a usual map you would know from your museum or something. Okay, so first of all, let's use this and maybe... What could we do with this? We could maybe just plug a... Let's see what happens if we just plug a noise texture in both of them. Maybe use the factor, put that in there, also down there. What happens? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, I have an idea. There's the seam line, which is kind of annoying. Maybe we could change it up. Nope, make it bigger like that. There's still the seam line, but I don't think we can get rid of this. Isn't too bad though. I'll leave it like this for now. What we could do is just go in here, select everything to the top. Nope, not like that. Just go in here, select all of that. Nope, not this. All these edge loops, go in here, select the top part as well. Then we can say duplicate. Yeah, let's do that. Duplicate. And then separate. What was it? P. Separate by selection. There you go. We have a second object. Let's put both of them in the geometry folder. And now if I remove the duplicated part, it's still in there. So what we can do is just go in here, go in orthographic view, select all the faces at the top, like that. Okay, remove these faces, and now what is that? I'll just say sphere. Okay, put that in there. There you go. Now this is even more like has a bigger seam, but that doesn't matter. We just move it like up by 0.5 maybe. This one down by -0.5, like that. We can then just go in here, for example, use a solidify modifier, make it bigger, way bigger. Oh, this looks cool. Like that maybe. Do the same in here. Maybe you could copy, link the modifier, so we have the same up there. Nice. Okay, now we could maybe put them closer, or what we could do is just bring a what could we do? I have an idea. Let's go in here. Let's switch back to rendered view, and then let's go and say, let's bring in a displacement. Vector displacement, we need to increase the subdivision surface amount. We can then say go to experimental mode, and then go in here, not here, adaptive subdivision, do the same in here, modifier, subdivision surface, adaptive subdivision, there you go. And we can go in here, say we use this color input as our height map, just connect it in there. Of course, it's not working yet. First thing we have to do is go to settings, bump only displacement and bump, put that in there. And there you go, you get these displacement. Look pretty weird right now. So what we can do is, first of all, let's see, mid-level scale can stay that way. Okay, maybe we increase the... Ooh. Actually, do we need displacement? I don't think we need displacement for this part. We could maybe use a bump map rather. Displacement is kind of weird if you don't have enough geometry, so we just use a bump map. How much time do I have left? 24 minutes, easy. It's just been 6 minutes. Felt like 10 minutes, but that's a good thing to hear. It feels like when you wake up just in the middle of the night, and then you look on your clock and you see it's like 2 a.m. and you have to wake up at like 7 or something. Best feeling ever. Okay, let's see, we could maybe increase the strength maybe to 10. Let's see what that... Oh, hello. Okay, maybe not 10, maybe we can keep it at 1 for now. Then put this black up higher, like that. Okay, I have an idea. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, maybe not, that's too much. So, we don't use the alpha, we use the color. Next up, I want to introduce a a sphere, put that smaller in the middle, make it smooth. We don't need more geometry. Okay. Next up, we could then say material preview. Go in here, of course, plug this shader in. Nothing. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's definitely too. Let's switch that up. Let's bring that back so we have some more structure in there, maybe even more. Just a little bit more, like that. Perfect. Okay. Now we can say make this dark, a really dark black. Like that. Also put the roughness down. Maybe to 0.1. Specularity can be pretty low as well. Then go in here, use the bump, that maybe 2.1. We don't need that much, just say slight displacement. 0.05 looks pretty cool. We can then go in here and say use this as our mask. Mix a different... Oh, actually, we can just use this and plug this into the metallic. Yeah, metallic. It's loading, I guess. Yep, it is. Actually, it's just easier to use another shader. So you go in here, shader, mix shader. Use another principled BSDF. Lagging. Oh, there you go. Let's make a new one. This one's kinda messed up. Okay. Plug that in there. Use this as our texture, mask into the factor. I don't know why it's loading so long. There you go. Okay. So, first of all, this is gold, so we put it to a more goldish color. Like that, maybe. Looks pretty good. We have to switch the color, so we use an invert node. Put that above all the others. Okay. Wait, what? That's not looking right. Let me see. Maybe we just use this. Change that to constant. What does that look like? Okay. Bring back some of these lines. Like that. Looks pretty good. Pretty good. Way too much. Maybe switch. Make it less like that. We can then put this back in. Put this as our mask color. Come on. I want to see. Okay, okay, this is the correct way. We can then say metallic, full on. Roughness pretty low. Dude, why is it so loading so long? Maybe 0.2. Maybe anisotrophic as well. Actually, we can get some more roughness in there. Maybe make it less saturated, darker. There you go. Okay. We can then switch back here. Maybe put the roughness higher. I think that'll look better. Specularity can be higher as well. And then increase the bump. Put the bump in there as well. Put that to 0.2. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. That looks pretty cool. Now we go in here. How much time do I have left? 18 minutes. Perfect. We make a new material. Actually, let's see what it looks like if we just use this. Ooh. It's a pretty cool shader in itself, but I'm not going to use it for the middle part as well. So let's remove this. Grab the new material I just created, not this one, the 0 or O material. Now let's go in here. Oh yeah. I found a new trick that I want to use in this, which is use a principled volume, put that in there. Then are we still in No, okay, we're in cycles. Switch back to rendered view. Otherwise, we're not really seeing the real result. Okay, we can then say the volume should be... Actually, it could be quite black like that. Density can stay like that way because we're going to use a noise texture. Let's see. We can then set the scale lower, detail low, roughness low, and then use a color ramp. Make it way more intense. Constant. We could put it to constant. Okay. And then distortion. Do we need that? We could implement some distortion like that. Scale. Let's put that lower so we have some bigger holes. Like that. Maybe a little bit bigger. Not too big though. Like that. We can then switch it to 4D so we can switch the texture around so we can get a better image like that maybe. And now comes the magic. We can then use this and put it into the density. If we use a color ramp, not color ramp, we use a math node, we can increase the strength of the density. Okay, there you go. And now let's put this to multiply and put that to 500. There you go. Looks kind of weird. Let's render that again. Still looks kind of weird. Of course, we have to put the anisotropy to -0.5. There you go. Okay, now we need a different... Maybe we can play around with this noise texture some more. Okay. The scale higher. Now let's change this W value. Something more interesting maybe. Oh, okay. It looks pretty cool, but it's not that interesting in my opinion. That looks pretty good. Let's look at it from... Yeah, that looks cool. Okay. Now, let's bring in a nice plain axis empty, just for the constraint for the camera. Go in here, say constraints damped track to this empty. There you go, put that to -Z and easy peasy. Now we can go into the camera view, switch back to rendered view. We can switch back to solid view in there. Remove the X-ray vision and then we can pick out a nice what do you want to call it? Perspective. Okay. That looks pretty good. Maybe make it a little bit wider. Also, we could pull this back like that, make it a little bit flatter so we can go closer. Okay. Maybe we could introduce some color in there as well. Let's see. If we make another noise texture, use this as well. Nope, let's make a new one. Okay, go in here, texture, converter color ramp. Plug that in there, change the scale, something higher. Put that into the color. Ooh. Now we can switch this to a more goldish. Actually, does look kind of weird. I think we can keep white. Maybe change these values some more. Okay. Let's see, emission strength, black body, we don't need emission. Let's maybe increase the multiply value some more, 1000, just to be sure that it's absolutely solid. Okay. Let's, okay, it's smooth, but it's not smooth, so we just put in a subdivision surface. Easy peasy. Adaptive subdivision. And there you go. What we can do then is maybe go in there. Nope, not there. Go into the sphere and put in a small light. Let's see if that's helping. If we then put that to power 100. Okay. Ooh. Looks like... actually, let's duplicate that, put that to the bottom as well. That looks kind of interesting, but not really... It looks like this, I don't know what the name is. No, not jade. I don't think it's called jade. I can't remember what the name is, but it looks cool. Maybe something more yellow or orange. Hello. Ooh. Put that to the bottom as well. Right on there. Pretty good. Maybe change the size. Radius. Make it smaller. Maybe 0.01. Let's put it to 0.05. Up there. 0.05. Okay. Let's see what it looks like without this light. Okay, we definitely need some exterior lighting. We can make our own though. First things first, we use a point light. Put that back there somewhere, because we're going to use this as our key light. Very simple setup. Maybe put it... Let's see, where could we put it? Also put the world lighting pretty low. Not like that, maybe a little bit lower. Okay. Then we use this to give all of this a little bit more of a contour. Okay. But the power could stay like that. We can then... Okay, that should be a good spot. Okay, that's good. We then use a second light, maybe a area light. Put that over here. Very simple setup. Shine onto the sphere. Let's put that to the 3D cursor as our anchor point to make it easier to rotate, and then increase the strength. Maybe a little bit higher. 300. Oh, interesting. That looks good. And also one more down there. Like that. Maybe put that to 50. Yeah, 50 looks pretty good. Maybe we could even put in another key light down there. Let's see. Does that look weird? Yeah, it looks weird because we can't see it at the top, which kind of looks too much. Okay. Let's save that first. Put that into the newest quick sketch folder. It is daily quick sketch day 10. We've reached day 10. So put that in there. Quick sketch day 10. Save it. Okay. Now we could maybe play with these colors some more. So we go back to object shading. We have 8 minutes left, so we have plenty of time. Okay. Absorption color. We put that to white. It looks kind of weird, so we can keep it like at black, maybe even a nice gold color. Okay, now that's too much color in there, so we keep it at black, like that. What if we would just put a light inside of this sphere. Put that to selected, go in here, light point. Is it in there? I guess. Put that to 100. Let's see. Yeah, but I think that's just... No, we don't need one in there. We don't need it. Okay. Maybe we could play with the background some more. We could say, for example, to remove this and then put in a... First of all, let's separate the background from the lighting. So shader, mix shader, put both in there. Also light path and camera ray. There you go. Now we can put in some noise in there. Texture, noise maybe. No, we use a wave first. Oh, oh, where is it? There it is. Put that in there. Not changing. What if you put it in there? Not changing. Why not? What is happening? Oh, I didn't plug it in. There it is. Okay. Now we can put in a noise texture in here. Factor into the scale, I guess. Nope, not scale. Distortion maybe. Nope. Detail. Nope. Detail scale. Nope. Vector. Oh, that looks pretty good. But it looks not... roughness lower, detail lower. Okay. We can then give it some more... Okay, nice. I wanted this kind of background. Then we can just go in here, put in another color ramp. Easy peasy. Maybe increase the blacks. Like that. And then we can say this white part can be a more grayish color. Way darker. Way darker. Yeah, maybe like that. What happens if we, for example, put in a volume cube just to see what happens? Make a new material for this volume cube. Like that. Go in here, remove this, put in a principal volume. 5 minutes left. Easy, we have so much time. Put in the density to maybe 0.1. That's still too much. I don't even know if that's going to be beneficial because we can see the light coming from the outside. I don't think that's going to be useful, but let's see. Nope, let's remove it. Looks weird. Oh, let's remove this cube. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Maybe we could... What happens if we just change the color? Maybe invert this. No, let's keep it like how it is. Okay, I mean, I guess we're ready. And I don't even think I like the background how it is right now. We could maybe go in the world settings and make this part a little bit lighter. I don't want to have it like fully black. I want to have rather some grayish background. Get these values pretty close. Like that. Okay, that should be better. Maybe let's remove this. Maybe not like that, just disconnect it. Then switch it to maybe to a Z. Or to... Sine saw. Okay, triangle. Let's put it to saw. Distortion maybe up. Way up. Okay, that looks pretty interesting. Let's keep that and see what it looks like. It's very subtle, but that's what I wanted. Very subtle. And let's save that one more time. Of course, one thing I forgot was the depth of field, very important. Put that to the sphere in the middle, and maybe to a point 1.5 maybe. Pretty shallow. That should be good. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 2. And then save it, and we're done. We have 2 minutes to spare. Let's go right into post-processing, I guess. Let's save it one more time. Maybe we can then go in here into the color management and say look high contrast. Ooh. Medium high. Let's keep it at medium high. Looks pretty good. Okay. Save it one more time. And then... Yep, 2 minutes left. Doesn't matter. We just, I mean, we can stop it now. So, nice. We don't even need the timer anymore. Let me just quickly close the windows I don't need. And we can go over to the post-processing. Of course, before we do that, we have to switch the output to EXR. I should really save that as my standard. Also, the export size to 50%. 50%, and also passes denoising data. Save it one more time, and then let's render this. Render image right there. Let me show you how it's rendering. This one, and then go to render result, and there you go. Oh, okay. There's some sort of sphere zone there. Okay, let me remove that. I can see it. Hello. Okay. Let's render that again. Takes a little bit longer. Every time you use volumetric stuff or volumetric shaders, like how we use it for this sphere, it's gonna take longer because this isn't really a solid sphere. It's more like dust flying in the air, and I just increased the amount of dust in the air so much that it looks almost solid, but it's still calculating it as if it like as if the oh, I have an idea. We had like a few minutes left. I just want to try something real quick. Go to shader, then we go back to the shader view. What I want to try is if we can make this in like this surface part shiny. We can maybe do that by going to object. Where's my note? Oh, we have to select the sphere. There it is. Go in here and then say text shader, mix shader, also shader transparent and glossy. Then use this as our color. Then put the roughness down to 0.1 maybe. Also use let's just use a principal BSDF. Oh, not refraction. Shader principal BSDF. Put that in. Nope. Oh, dude. Getting trolled by the program. Put that in there. Color, roughness, 0.1. Specularity can stay that way. Then put this in the bottom socket. Put this in the top socket. Also. Oh. Okay. Next up, we need this value. We just need this one. Put that into the factor and then put this into the surface. Haha, easy. Perfect. Maybe not like a fully rough, like fully shininess, maybe like a 0.3. That looks better. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's better. That's better looking. Easy. Nice. Okay, let's render that. So first of all, let's save it one more time and then render. Bam. Switch to the image view. Oh. There you go. Okay. Oh, I found a new method of creating organic shapes. This one is actually pretty cool. Ooh, okay. I think the render is done. So let's switch to the compositor. Right there. Go in here, remove this, and then we can work with this. First of all, of course, as always, use the denoising filter. Put the denoising normal, albedo, albedo. There you go. Okay. Next up, let's work with some... let's use a new node I recently, or today actually, I tried. First, before we do that though, we use the glare filter. Not like that, we use the fog glow. Make it maybe put it to high. Then maybe the size to something bigger. I think 9 is the maximum. Okay, threshold maybe higher. 5. Okay, that's too much, maybe 2. Still pretty high. 3. Okay, let's just leave it at 1. I wanted to see if I can separate this red glow from this white glow, but it doesn't seem to work. Okay, let's keep it at medium. Medium with these settings. Okay. Next up, we use the new node, which is the... which one is it? The color balance. I haven't really figured it out that well yet, but it gave you some pretty good results. Okay. Maybe we have to increase this some more. That's too much. Let me maybe put that at... wait, what? 0.9? 0.9? That at... okay, let's put it to 0.9. That's too much. Let's see what all these do, first of all. Gamma, put it to 0.9. Okay. Back to 1, and then let's see gain. 0.9. Okay, they kind of do the same, so I probably have to read some more what they actually do. Let's use something else first. Maybe what if we change the color? What happens then? Ooh. What if we put that to blue? Okay, interesting. What if we put that to green? I have no idea how this works. Okay. Scale. Okay. It looks pretty cool, but it's not really like it's diminishing the effect it had before. I want to keep this material pretty like that. I don't want to make it like a different color. Let's use a RGB curve. That should be the easiest to use in this case. We can then say put one in there and then put this down. Also pull this up. Maybe not too dark. Okay. I don't know if that's too dark on the edges. Maybe a little bit lighter. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Okay, next up. What else? Maybe some contrast. Let's see. That's basically what we did there, but maybe we can fine-tune this some more. Did nothing. Maybe if we put it to 1. That's too much. Okay, well, let's use maybe wait, which one? We had one more I wanted to put in. Saturation, let's see if that's helpful. Saturation 1.1 maybe? I mean, it's kind of cool. Maybe 1.05. Yeah, let's remove that and see what the difference is. Yeah, maybe 1.075. Okay, that looks better. Let's try this. Of course, the where is it? The lens distortion. Let's see if that's any help for us. Maybe add -1 just to see what it looks like. Oh, of course. -0.5 maybe. No, that looks kind of weird. What if we put it to 0.5? Also weird. No, we don't need that. Maybe the dispersion. I think this is kind of a calm image, so this could ruin that. But maybe if you put it to 0.1, it could add some interesting effect on the highlights. Yeah, like that. That could, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's save that one more time. Render the final image by putting this to maybe 128. Also put this to 100%. Save it one more time and render the image. That's a new technique I learned today actually. This combining a texture or using the same texture as a mask, not only in the surface material but also in the volume material, so you can get these nice holes inside of an object. And I think you can do that for every object, because it's not really dependent on what kind of shape you have. We could try that in a minute once that's done, and then we can go over to the main project. I'll show you, if you don't know what I was talking about with Lady Dimitrescu, who that is, and then we'll start that. Today's a solid sculpting day, so tomorrow, like today and tomorrow, is gonna be purely working on my new big project. I would expect probably to take roughly, I would guess, 2 weeks, maybe more, to finish this next project, this like big project. Maybe I'll use hair cards for this one just to change it up and get some different looks in there. And yeah, maybe we can use particle hair, but they can be quite tricky. Okay, post-production, and there you go. Nice. This distortion effect makes the center of the... Let's see that without the distortion effect. Okay, it's not working anymore. Oh, it is. It makes it kind of blurry in there. Maybe if we decrease it even more, maybe 0.05. I don't want to make it too blurry there because I want to keep this detail. Uh, 0.025. But I also like this color separation in there, so I want to keep that as well. I guess I have to live with a 0.05. It's not too bad, but I don't know. I like this structure in there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's save that image and save as PNG. Last time I made a big mistake, which was I finished my quick sketch, but I did not post it up until 5 minutes before, like 5 minutes after midnight, which is technically not daily. And to prevent that today, I'm just gonna post it right away. So give me like 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna export this or save it as a JPEG in Photoshop, and then we can go over and start the main project. Resources. There you go, projects. I may also put a shader on this image. I mean, I can show you what I usually do when I export these. If we go to screen cap, you can see my Photoshop. We then just go to quick sketches, sketch day 10, put this PNG in here. I put this into Photoshop and export it as a JPEG again, because if you render it as an EXR, it's really big, and saving it as a PNG isn't really reducing the size. I mean, it's reducing the size, but it's not enough to really make it as small as it should be for social media, which means we have to go in here and save it as a JPEG, a compressed JPEG again. What I do first though is just slap on a nice, maybe change the lighting a little bit, get some more of these highlights in there. Gamma. Ooh. With some, yeah, I think that looks better. It was kind of dark without, and with it, this looks definitely better. One more thing, put in the color lookup, use a different LUT. Ooh, some rose gold also looks pretty cool. What is that changing? Just giving it some more lighting, I guess. Bleach. Film stock maybe? No. Just going through all these LUTs, and maybe there's one that looks good. If not, then just I'll keep it without any LUTs. I think LUTs are the short version of lookup table. Candlelight, no. Foggy night, If we put that to maybe a different mixing mode. Let's see. Oh. Nah. No. Oh. Wait a minute. This looks pretty cool. Look at that. Without and with. Just giving it some more colors. We have this blue or purple in there now. Some blue contours in there. Looks pretty cool. Okay. So let's save that as an PSD file first. Just to, if we want to make any more changes, we still have that. And then we go to export or web and save that as a 60 quality 60 JPEG. Day 10, save it. And there you go. This looks really cool. This one really, I like this one really very much. Maybe this might be my new phone wallpaper actually. Maybe. Let's save that one more time just to be sure. And then exit and post it on Twitter and Instagram, maybe even Facebook. But I'll do it on Instagram for now. Or Instagram and Twitter. Let me plug in my phone so I can do that. Transfer the image. Let me switch back to Blender. I want to have a static screen of something that could be a replacement for a Be Right Back scene, for example. Maybe some sort of 3D scene with something interesting going on. Just like a screen that like says Be Right Back is kind of weird. Okay, let me transfer my image, JPEG, Control on my phone. And there you go. Now let's make a new file. Oh, let's save it just to be sure. I always when I see this small star in there, I just make sure to save it one more time to get rid of that. Maybe there's some sort of setting that gets saved that's important. Make a new general scene. Okay. Let me just quickly upload that and then we can go and start this big project. I'll show you my inspirations and all that, and then we can start. Hold on. Okay, like that. Okay. Okay, dokie. It's time to post the image. Let me post the image. New feed post. Oh, dude. I don't know. This looks so cool. I don't wanna sound too whatever. Oh, there's this there's a cool Instagram shader as well that adds a little bit more in there as well, but I think I'll keep it like how it is right now. Actually, problem is if I use this image on Instagram and I post the same image on Twitter, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same filter. Let me open it up in Photoshop one more time to see if I can recreate that filter in there as well, so I can use that same image with a similar filter in there. Yeah, as I said, this new project will probably take a little bit longer just because of the pose I have in mind for it. It's still gonna be, I think I'm gonna include not only like a bust without any arms, but also her upper torso. I'm gonna use that, like implement that as well, because I want to actually like use a pose for this one. Okay, let me see, color lookup, then use another, which one was that? Foggy night. Okay. Okay, maybe a nice contrast. You can see what I'm doing, of course, but just trying to quickly get this done, and then we can go move over. Let's see. It's not working. Maybe a different color LUT. Nope. Nope. maybe I'll just use a hue setting, hue filter. There you go. No. Maybe just a color. Nice blue. That might be too blue, but let's see. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe like that. Maybe even put this, change this color. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Maybe some gradient, I mean some curves. Like that. Come on. Give me what I want. I need it. Okay, I think I got it like similar, not the same, but similar. Okay, let's see what it looks. Okay, I'll show you what I'm doing. So I added 2 more filters. One is no, 3. One is just curves for more highlights. Then a color to change the color to remove this grayness, and also a color lookup. If we combine all of those, that's what it looked like before. Then we added a second color lookup. This might even be unnecessary. Okay. Yeah, we don't need that. Yep, this looks... Just making this like a slight blue, I think looks just better than just gray. Maybe we could bump up these darker colors. Keep it like that, maybe. Okay, that should be enough. Let's save that again. That's why I said I save my Photoshop files, just so if that happens, I can go in again and change it. Save it. Yep, I want to replace it. Switch back to Blender. Plug in my phone, and then we can start. Use this copy. Go in here, post it. I mean, copy it, paste it. Put that in there. Okay. Took a little bit longer today, but that's just how it is sometimes. Now let me post it, and then we can go. Posting the image feed. Post like that. Okay. Okay. Let me post it, and then we can go. Let me name it real quick. Daily quick sketch day 10. New anniversary, 10 days in a row. Well, technically. I don't know if you want to include posting as well. What do you want to call it? Let's call it what do you want to call it? Core or soft core. I don't know. Soft core. Oh, well, that, yeah, okay. Okay, put in some hashtags. Good old Instagram hashtags. Okay. Like that. And post it. Easy. Let's post it on Twitter as well, and then we should be good. Twitter, where are you? There you are. Nope. New window. And there you go. Make a new tweet. Put in an image. Not this one, my newest one, day 10. Right there. Daily quick sketch day 10. Of course, not like that. Day 10. And that's called softcore. Easy. Okay. Let's tweet that out. Let me look something up real quick. Let me look something up real quick. Okay. Okay, I don't want to stall any longer, so let's post it, or tweet it rather. And then... Okay. Let's go over to the main subject of today. And tomorrow as well. Which is, of course... Just checking if my stuff got posted. Yep, it did. I gotta grab my graphics tablet. No sculpting without a tablet, for me at least. I heard some people use these trackpad mouses. Haven't tried it before. Oh, okay. I use this weird so I basically not glue my tablet to my PC. I like pin it. Let me tell you what I use for it. Let me tell you. Google Translator is gonna tell you what it is. I don't even know what the German word is. Okay, well, forget it. Just forget it. Never mind. Let me show you what we're gonna do today. Let me open up the project and then we can start. Character 3. References. I collected a few references. So, first of all, this is the character we're gonna sculpt. Or recreate. You might have seen her before. She's gonna be the main antagonist, I think, in the new Resident Evil that's coming in May, I think. And I think she has a cool style, so I want to recreate her in a custom pose. The custom pose looks something similar to this, except she's not licking a lollipop. She is licking on her huge claws, or like one of them. So she has like a similar pose to this, but she has like her huge claw on her tongue, and she's licking that. So let me set up my reference sheet. What I use to keep my references together is just there's a program that's called PureRef, and with that you can have a window that's always above everything else. If you like tick that box, I like enable that setting, which then lets you have a window. I'll show you in a second. Make a new load, save, new scene. Then if I switch to screen capture, can you see it? Oh, you can. Okay. This is just this window, I mean. There's nothing here, it says, because there's no reference in there. But then if I use all these images I saved, I can put them in here. Okay, and there you go. All the references in there. Then I can just, I set the setting to it's always on top, which means I can put it somewhere wherever I want. Not above me, because I'm above the screen cap layer. And let me sort my images. I've watched through all these trailer videos and grabbed some screenshots to get some reference in. For example, this one. Let's see. We have different perspectives for the face, which is really important if you want to sculpt a likeness. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to actually capture a likeness of a person. There's one more, so we have like a semi front view, maybe a 3/4 view, then she turns around and we can see some more of her silhouette as she turns around. Her cheeks, how they form, and that's how I sort them. Also the pose, I'm gonna put this into a different pile, put all of these over here. I think that's a face. Yep. Okay, let's sort those out. Just a few references. These are mainly for the expression. And this one as well. These are basically my, I think those ones are the main reference, and those ones are more like secondary references that show me maybe stuff like the facial expression or stuff like that. So let me sort that out, and now we can do this. I think the best image to see her face is probably, I mean, we have this one, but she's quite hidden underneath the hat. I think the best one is maybe this one or this one. So we can select these two, put them together, make them a little bit bigger so they're bigger than the other ones, because this is the main reference. Then we have a kind of round table to see a few different perspectives. Also seeing her from the bottom in this one, so you can see what the bottom of her nose looks like. Maybe put that over here. Also just seeing her stature in this one. Then what else do we have? Another one for her clothing and stature. This one's another, oh, you can see the claws really well in there, as well in here. Her smiling, I'm gonna make her smile as well. Put that in there as a secondary to this one. This one is good for a profile view. You should always have, I mean, the best way to sculpt a likeness would be to have a 360-degree image of someone, basically, but oftentimes you can't get that. So you look for footage of that person, like how they turn around, for example, or for example for this one I grabbed this scene where you can see what her nose looks like from profile view, which is very important. Also just different angles, you can see her claws in here. Let me put that in here like that, so we can see what the shape of the claw is. This one's for the stature. Oh, this one's a continuation of this scene. So we have the 3/4 view from up top. Then she turns around, and you can see a more backside view. Then you have this, which is from the bottom, and just a few more to get a few different angles in here. So I'll build them around these two because those are my main reference. I'm gonna make those the biggest images in this reference sheet. All the other ones are more for orientation and smaller references. This one could be over here just to get a different frame. It's not that different, but you can see she's hunched over here and there she's more standing straight. This one's more for the detailed stuff like her skin, her lips and all that. This is a good shot for that. So we can put that. This is going to be used for later. Maybe put it in here. This one's also more like a detail shot. You can see more details of her clothing in here, which you doesn't see too much in this, for example, because it's pretty dark. Also, one more for these sets, and the rest is just maybe this will be useful for the expression, maybe not. Just grabbed it because it's a unique expression, and this one is a little bit small of her smiling from the side. Oh, make it smaller like that. This is quite similar to this one, but she's a little bit more, her head is rotated a little bit more to the side. We could maybe put this up here. Okay. Perfect. So first of all, let's grab that and put it more to the clothing part. Okay. We have our expressions and we have our character reference. Put that closer together, maybe even to the top right there. Okay, so I can now just grab this and make it as big as I want, and then I can just pull it to the side. I have a little bit more space over here where I can place it. So I will do that, maybe up here. I could put it in the scene, but I don't think it's pretty cramped as it is, so I don't need one more window in there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe put it down there. I like it more when it's at the bottom than the top. Okay. Of course, first things first. Let me switch the view, Blender view, and we can go over to Blender. First of all, we need a, let me go in here, record all of what I'm doing. This is going to be another speed sculpt, or like just say, yeah, speed art, whatever I'll call it. And I will pull up my female base mesh, remove that, and then go in here. Let me grab that from the folder, actually, that's easier. New window. Go to my base mesh, grab my base mesh, and then we can go. Female human base mesh, right there, append, collection, female base mesh. There you go. It's already smoothed out, as you can see, so it's ready to go. Let's put it to the middle of the scene. And first of all, what I'm gonna do is change her pose, because that's the most important part. changing the pose afterwards can be quite hard. So what I'll do first is go into armature, basic human, I guess. There you go. Make it smaller so it fits her frame. We can then go into the edit mode, X-ray vision, and set that up. Let's remove the camera or hide it. Remove unnecessary collections, and now we can set up this rig. Pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty fast. Also, let's activate tool x-axis mirror. So if we do that, both sides move. Because this model is symmetrical, we can do that without any deficits. Like that. Then use this, put it to her elbow. This one's for the wrist, and this one's for the hand. Okay. The legs as well. Okay, the knees. It can be pretty rough. We don't even need the knees, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Doesn't take long. Put this. Oh, where am I? There it is. What else do we need? This bone. Put it right there, and this one right there. Okay. Looks pretty good. Maybe we can change this. This is the head, this is the neck. So maybe go in here. Push this down. This can be lower. Just a little bit maybe. Push this down. Okay. Also this, like that. Okay. Looks pretty good. We can then do it from this perspective as well. Move it to where it should be. Okay. Looks good so far. Make sure that this ankle is basically on the elbow. Kind of hard to see in X-ray view. But that should be good. Also making sure that this fits. Looks good. Those are for the chest region. We don't need those, so we can remove them. Make sure the spine is at the back of the body. So back there. The head as well. Like that. The spine connects to the head or the skull near the ear. So we set it up like that, and also go down here. Get it closer to the back. Here as well. Like that. That should be enough. We don't need the lower region anyway. Now what we can do is go in here, remove the X-ray vision, select the model, select the rig, and then go Control P, parent to armature deform with automatic weights. Maybe this is enough. Let's see. If we now go into the rig and remove this, you can see we can move her hand and we can do a rough pose. What we'll do is, let me look at my reference to get a rough idea. We should also, nope, let's not do that. First of all, we should maybe rotate her a little bit. like that, so she can look to the front into the camera, which means we grab this, rotate it a little bit, not fully to the front, maybe like that. Okay, like that. Then we could rotate her neck. That's probably too much. We could change her neck later in sculpting as well. Maybe like that. Then rotate it some more. So it's that's tilted the wrong way. Like that, then rotate it back. Like that. Perfect. Okay, her mouth, we can open that later. We can then change her arm. First of all, we use the lower arm only. Then we rotate it on the y-axis. Deformations might be a little weird, like that, but we can fix that in the sculpting part. Next up, we need to put this further forward. Not too far, because the blades are pretty long. Let's see. Trying to guess how this would look like. Okay. Let's set up a camera so we see what we're looking at. Where's my camera? There it is. Where is it? I can't see it. There it is. So we switch back to the image editor. Nope, to the 3D viewport. We're in camera view, and now we can get closer. Okay, maybe even closer. This is in 85 millimeters, pretty good. Maybe make it smaller so it's not so huge. And I want to have enough room for her head and also her torso. So something like this should be good. So which means we have to move it over. Like that. Okay. Let's go back to posing. Maybe we could rotate her torso a little bit. Then her head. Okay, I have a pose. I have a pose. Like that, and then we pull her arm up some more. Also pull it closer. Then we move her arm like that. Rotate it on the y-axis. Like that, and then we rotate it something like that. Maybe we have to rotate it down some more. Okay, maybe a little bit more. I want to see some, like, a little part of her arm still. We could maybe even go closer. Like that. Then put her finger over closer to the face, and that should be good. Okay. Maybe her other hand could be placed a little bit better. Maybe... We could put it just closer to her body. What you could also do is just make her frame a little bit wider. I think that's quite fitting for her. Like that. Okay. Maybe tilt her head just a little bit. Create some more interest in a more interesting pose. And I think we're ready to go to sculpting. If we have like small adjustments, we can still make those. We go back to object mode. And what we're gonna do is just put this in here. And then we're gonna duplicate both the rig and also the body, just to have a backup. If anything goes south, we still have that. Make a backup folder. Put that character in there with the body. There you go. And hide that. Okay. Now we can just go in here and use the modify, apply that. And we have our pose. We can then remove this rig. Oh. We have to unparent this. Clear and keep transformation. We can then remove this rig. And everything's good. So. Nope, let's keep it like that. Okay. Let's go over to... I should have added her eyes first, but let's just do that now. What we could actually do, let's see if that works. Make a horizontal split. Nope, we have to go even further back. I think, oh, there's still the modifier, not... There it is. Okay, we can then go to the timeline. I want to try something real quick. We say, keyframe this. How do you keyframe this again? I think you select everything and then insert keyframe. Now, if we say go to second frame and say reset unkeyed, it does not work. That's perfect. Maybe if we go to reset position or rest position, go insert keyframes. Does that work? Nope. Okay. But, dude, it worked before, but I don't know why it doesn't work anymore. Reset unkeys. Huh. That's so weird. Well, okay. We can give her some eyes now, I guess. So go in here, apply the modifier, Also, we should include the preserve volume. This fixes some of this stretching at the bottom. Also, multi-modifier, don't need that. Apply it. And remove this rig. Oh, before we do that, of course, unparent that with keep transformation. And there you go. Now let's remove this bottom part by just going in here using a UV sphere. We can keep it for now. Maybe we can remove it later. That way it's easier to sculpt the hands and all that, or arms. So, first of all, let's save that just to be sure. Character 3. Character 3 version 1A. Save it right there. And we don't need this anymore. We can join that. And there you go. We don't need the shading for now, so we can put our reference in there. Just for you to see some sort of reference. Which is this one. There you go. Okay, so first of all, save it just to be sure. And then we can grab our eyes. So we'll append that as well. Go to eye, textures. Nope, not textures. Collection, eyes. There are the eyes. Pull them up. Are they mirrored? Do they have a modifier on? I guess. No, they don't. What? Oh, okay. I guess we just remove this one. Why does it have a modifier when I... Okay. Remove this one as well, and then we can go. We could maybe say... Oh, no, already has a nice dot right there. The anchor point is in the middle, which is what I wanted. We can then go in here and just place the eyeball. We can maybe go into material preview just to see what he's looking at. Where's the eyeball? It's in there. We have to pull it forward. It's magenta because we have to apply the texture. So we go into the shader editor. Right there. Texture transmission, which is in the textures folder. Transmission right there. Also diffuse. Everything in there. Also the normal. And we switch to the iris part. Put in the diffuse one more time. Go back, eye textures, diffuse, open that. There you go. And also the normal in there as well. There you go. Okay. The eye is ready to be put in the head. There you go. Just kind of putting it in there. Actually, I don't know if I should put it in right already, because maybe her head shape might change, and then we would have to move her eyeballs. But I think having eyeballs in there from the beginning is pretty helpful. So let's do that. Move it forward, not too far though. Okay. I think that looks pretty okay for now. Do the same over there. Okay, looks pretty good for now. Of course, this looks pretty rough still, but we haven't started yet. So yeah, everything looks good. So we switch to the image editor. There you go. And now we can start working on her face. Let's switch to sculpting. Save it. I don't know what these colored faces are. I haven't really figured that out, but it's not a big problem for us. We use, of course, a multi-resolution modifier. Excuse me. Let me drink something real quick and then we can start. Okay. So, first of all, let me define her biggest features. Of course, we gotta get our reference back. Let me set that up real quick. Also, we need a... Oh, not that. We need a vertical split over there for the chat box. Text editor. Let me set that up real quick. Okay. Also, let me grab my reference. Vertical, horizontal split, I mean. Oh, once more. Not working. Okay, like that. Use the image editor. And there you go. Okay. So, first of all, let me change her head shape. I use the... let me make that a little bit smaller. Okay. First of all, let's change her head shape a little bit. It's quite deformed because the rig wasn't perfect, but we can fix that pretty easily. Just moving things around. Also, opening up her mouth. Let me see the reference for that. It's over there. Okay. So what I want to have her like put on her is a smile, but we have to increase the view clip distance to 0.01, maybe 0.01. Okay. Now we can move up this and put it further back. Let me grab my second perspective. There you go. Of course, the beginning also always looks kind of creepy. It'll get better, believe me. Whoa. Where's that coming from? Why is that there? I guess because we have symmetry. Oh, dude. We can't pose her first. Because then we have to do everything. Okay, well. So... Oh, yeah, I guess we so what I'm thinking about is, because we have moved her around, the symmetry point isn't in the middle of her face anymore, which means we can't really move her, or we can't really benefit from only having to work on one side. I think it is way better to just work on her base mesh without the pose and then putting her into the pose before we work with this and not getting the benefit of a symmetric sculpt. So let's get back to the layout. Remove that. We can keep one eye for now. That's why I have the backup. Right, exactly for that. Oh. Right there. Keep transform, nope. I want to remove the parent. Like that, perfect. Let's place the eye now. Gonna be a little bit harder to pose her later because she will have more geometry, which means it'll take longer to, or more processing power. But it's definitely better than trying to pose her beforehand. Let me look through my reference real quick. I want to see her profile view. Okay. Should be good like that. So we're just gonna work on her face first, and then we can go over to the posing. Let's switch that to the 3D cursor rotation point so we have a nice 3/4 perspective. Perfect. Okay. So let's save that. And let's go. Let's go to sculpting. Of course, she only has one eye, so we have to go in here, say mirror on her axis. Perfect. And sculpting. Let's do that again. So this will be a little bit harder to actually get right, just because we have to... Actually, we could just... This is kind of a gamble now. We could pose her or model her neutrally, and then once we have the final, like her face done, we could then change her expression. I think that's a better way to do it than to go in first and give her an expression and just guess how she would look like. So what we'll do is just pose her from her neutral face, basically. Okay. Let's start. First of all, of course, we need to put in the multi-resolution modifier again, and then we will change her face first and then go into more detail, as always. If you haven't seen yesterday's stream, we did a... We basically went to the AI Dungeon website and started a new storyline, and we were looking for a creature that we could sculpt. So basically we went, and the AI Dungeon AI basically gave us a creature we were supposed to sculpt, and we got just a dude. An old man with black kept hair and nice with no beard, and he was pretty old. I think 75 years old it was. And he had a red shirt on, blue pants, and I think his name was Yolev. That's all we knew. And then we made a sculpt out of it. That's gonna be a video for next week. First of all, let's change her head shape to more resemble her head shape from the video game. Also, her nose is, I think, a little bit higher. Not as long. A little bit wider. Her bridge is small, thinner. You can push that in. Form that around the eyeball. I think her eyes can also be a little bit closer together. Her forehead can be smaller. Okay. Maybe a little bit flatter. Like that. Okay. Let's move her eyes real quick. There you go. Okay. Go back to sculpting mode and change her face some more. Maybe put this lower. Oh, I went to the wrong sculpting. I had to select this and then go to sculpting. You see her profile view. Where's her profile view? There, nope, there it is. Okay. Dude. Okay. First of all, pull her nose down. Longer, of course. Like that. Put it deeper into her face. It's kind of weird. That's too big. Okay. Always looking at the reference just to make sure that we're actually getting these proportions right. Of course, we're just moving right now. That's because we can't really change the main shapes yet. Or like give her more detail. But this is the most crucial part. Getting the general shapes correct will dictate all of the rest of the character. Let's look at her from the bottom. Okay. that. Easy peasy. Maybe her nose could be a little bit longer. Let's see. Also a little bit flatter the profile. Let's get back to the profile view. This is a little bit more, I think, meticulous, you can call it. Making sure that all the proportions are close to have a good base to work with. Okay. Looks kind of weird. Let's smooth that a little bit. Maybe we can use the brush and push some things down. Like that. Also, let's look at her cheekbones. Or her cheeks, rather. Push it down a little, back a little bit. Okay. One very important perspective is this one, so you can see the cheek really well. I think I have a good perspective of that right there. So her lips are pretty wide, I think. Let me check. Okay. Always comparing, like, how far do these corners of the face of the lips go compared to the eyes. That's a good way to measure the width of certain body parts. Also, the corners or the nostrils should be as wide as the eyes, or the middle of the eye should be, so like that roughly. Also, just generally checking how her eyes look from the side is important. Maybe we can pull them down a little bit. Or pull her. Yeah, pull her the middle of her face, the nose, basically, the bridge a little bit higher. Actually, her forehead is pretty round. So let's bring that back. But it's pretty flat. Her cheeks, oh, there goes the nose. Are more puffy, so we pull those out. Also, down here, we need more volume. Not too much though. Also, making sure to check the height of the cheekbones is important. Just small pushes will get you in the right direction. Of course, in this stage, it won't really resemble her that well, but it'll be a good basis to work off of if you set it up right. which is the most important part. Her chin is pretty long. Pretty wide as well. Good old. Nice jaw also. Okay. Her nostrils are lifted up above this bottom line a little bit. Like that. You can see that in there. You can see if we look from this angle, you can see the silhouette on her cheek and on her jaw. We have to work in that a little bit more. Push some of that geometry forward. Like that. Okay. I think her eyes are pretty high still. We could probably pull them down. Female eyes are usually placed lower than male eyes. So let's keep that in mind. Also making sure that we're not giving her this massive forehead. Look like a Neanderthal. Okay. Pulling her bones back here as well. Okay, now let's position her eyes again. Okay. Back to sculpting. And then we can work on those. The ears aren't really necessary to change. They are rotated back a little bit. Oh, we have to switch back to the head and go to scope mode. So we can just grab that and pull it back a little. Make it round. There you go. Should be enough. We don't really see them in the end because she has long hair, or semi-long hair. Her eyes are pretty high. I mean, her like eyebrow bones or whatever. I don't know what they're called. Okay. Maybe her chin can be a little bit thinner in terms of horizontal width. Let's see what it looks like from the profile view. Okay. Oh my god. using the clay brush is easier to put in more detailed changes than using the move brush. Going in here, for example, giving her these smaller changes. Okay, I think we have a good base. Let me check the front view again. Maybe change the nose a little bit. Go in here, change the advanced, put in, activate the front faces only, because this part is pretty thin. Let's get the shape right. It's more like that, I think. Still looking through my references, of course. Making sure everything looks alright. We could change her nose a little bit, not too much. Just the general shape. He has a very slight hook nose, maybe not that big. At least in the profile view. It also goes pretty deep inside of the face. Her eyes. Let's go to the eyes. First of all, she has a pretty prominent bone right here. Make the eyelids a little bit thicker. Also the top eyelid. You can't really see that many changes because the geometry, of course, is still pretty low. Just trying to get these general shapes right, and then we can go over to more detail. Huh. Okay. Of course, the hat is quite annoying because you can't really see her full head, but we'll just work with what we got. Always checking the reference. Oh, the shape changed, the nose shape. Okay. I think we have a good base now. Maybe her jaw can be a little bit wider, and then we can go over to the main parts, the sculpting, the actual sculpting, not only moving and pushing around. Okay. I think we have a good base. As I said before. Just wanted to make sure that you know that we have a good base. Let's see. Her lips are definitely thinner. We have to keep that in mind. Also, make sure that her chin is formed the right way before we move on. Okay. Upper lip is also pretty thin. Also make sure to keep the space between the nose and the lip in mind. It's also very important, very characteristic for a character. Okay. I think we have a pretty good base now. We can work with this. I really want to improve my likeness sculpting, so that's why I'm kind of particular right now. Really want to get this right. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good now. Let's save that, and we can go over to more geometry. So let's put in the first division, and there you go. Let's go in there. First things first. First, still working on the main shapes, just having a little bit more geometry to work with. Also, this shape is quite important. Some people just have this triangle, some people have this pushed in a little bit. Hers is kind of pushed in. This edge right there is also very characteristic. The nose is very characteristic, of course. One of the biggest features of a face. As we've discovered yesterday, the guy with a huge nose. Looking for her bottom view to have a better look at the nostrils and nose in general. Okay. not move too far out. Don't make them too wide, the nose or the nostrils. Okay. Working on this tip of the nose. Let me switch back to solid view. This part, the tip of her nose, is quite prominent, quite round. One of her more special features that makes her like herself, basically. That defines her. Also, this bridge right here, it's quite wide, but pretty flat. This part, the bottom is quite wide, and then it gets closer in the end at the tip. Putting in a nice shape in here. Can get to some quite big like geometry stretching, but that's not too bad. Of course, the geometry, how it's set up, can be quite limiting to the shape itself, but with enough patience we can get there. Just going at it and forming it how we want it. Profile view. The nose is definitely pointier, or like that. Also, this bit is quite sharp, like that. Looks kind of weird right now. Let's fix that. First of all, fix this part. Let's see the bottom view again. Her shape isn't really correct, I think. The nose shape. We have to push in some more right there. More like that. Okay. Okay, let's leave her nose alone for a second. work on some other parts of her face. Maybe her eyes next. Get the general shape in there first and then working from there. Okay. Getting in deep in here. Let's change that to a little less strength. There you go. Back to her eyes. Working on these lower eyelids first, then at the top. Maybe defining the edge can help. Okay. Like that. Doing that at the top as well. Okay. Maybe pushing it in some more right there. Quite far out. Okay. Her lower lid can be a little bit higher. More like that. Upper lid can be a little bit bigger, maybe like that. Just small changes. We don't want to go too crazy first. Defining the lips some more, because there's no definition right now. That's probably why it looks so weird for now. So let's fix that. Okay. Lower lip. Just very basic in the beginning. Going down here, defining her lower lip muscles. She has quite defined lower lip muscles. Not too crazy, but a little bit. Oh, dude, this setting is so annoying. Radius pressure off. Now it's easier to work. This setting screws everything for me. As I said yesterday, it basically just makes your radius respond to the amount of pressure you put on the tablet. And if it's tied to both the radius and also the strength, it can be quite annoying. because most of the time you only want to change one of those. Always keep these muscles in mind, right around these, the corners of the mouth. Very important. Adds a lot of character. On women mostly, not as, or females, not as prominent than on male characters or people. Okay. Getting in the jaw muscle, which is used for lifting up the jaw or lowering it. Okay. Let's get in the eyebrow shape. Making sure that this is nice and smooth. Then going in here, making this quite deep. Then going in here, forming a nice shape like that. Making this part more, giving it more volume. That's basically the fat pads above the eyes. Very important. Always keep fat pads in mind. Look them up if you sculpt any characters. They're very important to get a realistic looking face right. Okay. Looking for, okay. We have a good base. Let's check. Maybe we could raise her bones up here a little bit. Okay. Just working in small steps is better than going ham and then realizing later you made a big mistake. Not gonna close her mouth just because we're gonna open it up later anyway, so why not leave it open right away? Her cheeks can be a little bit more puffy, like puffy, yeah. Like that. Okay. Maybe this part just a little bit more. Not too much. She can look quite chubby if you add too much. Okay. Making sure the jaw's right. So let's go in here, make that correct. Shape it how it is in the profile view. You can't see the profile view, but I can, of course. So I'll see. Usually you can see if people's jaws are either like horizontal or have like a small tilt or slope going upwards. Your ear can be a little bit smaller, like that. Okay. She has a little bit of fat underneath, making everything a little bit smoother. Okay. Now you can compare to this reference. You can see that this part I think is still too high. So we can push down a bit. Like that. Okay, I think that's better. We can then make some more bigger cuts in here. Like that. Her nostrils are more round, so we push those out a bit. Not too much, of course. Always just small changes can really change the face. Very small changes can have great effects on faces, so keep that in mind. Don't make too many big moves. Okay, let's see her nose. Let's see if the width is pretty fitting. We could maybe add a little bit of volume in here. Remove some there. Okay. Maybe make it a little bit wider. Just a little bit, not too much. Okay. See if we can move her lips a little bit lower. So let's do that. Just masking everything we need to move it down. And then just using the move tool. Of course, removing everything we don't want to move. Like her nose. And then we just go in here. Grab the grab brush. And just pushing it down a little bit. Not too much. That was a small, very small change. But as I said before, it can have big changes. Okay. I think her nose can even be a little bit wider. So let's do that. Okay. Getting this shape right is important, of course. Like that. Okay, I think her nose is pretty good. Maybe pull the nostrils down a little bit. Okay. Also change the shape a little bit more. Okay. I think her eyes can be, let's see. They're quite deep. Let's change that. Okay, let's bring her eyes a little bit further back. Put that to the max. Okay. Let's change her eye shape a little bit more. The eyelids, the lower eyelids usually are further back than the upper eyelids. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So if you look at it from the side, the upper eyelid is usually a little bit further up than the bottom eyelid. So you have this slope that goes further back if you go from the top to the bottom. Also, putting in some depth in here. Just a little bit, not too much. We could maybe pull her forehead back a little bit. Okay. Making sure these muscles are quite prominent. Very important on her. These bottom lip muscles can make a character look way more not necessarily masculine, but more like strong, or I guess you could say like masculine or just dominant. So it's always important to keep those in mind as well. Okay. Her lip can be tilted upwards more. We can change the shape a little bit as well. Changing the shape, adding some more volume in here as well, because that's important for especially the upper lip. Looked quite flat before. Now adding some more, you can see it looks way better immediately. Just like that, making sure. Also, this shape can vary quite a bit. It can be flat, can be like this inserted curve. For her, it's more like straight. Her bottom lip. We can add some volume in there as well. Bottom lip usually is quite round compared to the upper lip. Also, usually the lower lip is further back, just like the eyelids are. The lower eyelids. Ooh, some Halloween vibes in here with this nice music. So I was planning on doing more of my planned topics where I can just talk about on stream while working on this, for example, because if I just work on a character, I usually have, I think it's just more entertaining to talk about a topic instead of just talking about what I do, because it's quite repetitive, especially if you, for example, come back multiple times and then just listen to me saying the same thing over and over. Keep in mind, you have to keep in like you have to pay attention to your main shapes, and now I'm moving this around and all that. So my plan was to prepare a topic for these types of streams, just to make it more entertaining and more substantive than just rambling about my current, like describing what I do. So tomorrow we're definitely going to talk about a topic. Maybe not today, because we don't have that much time left, but tomorrow definitely. Okay. Maybe make these fat parts up here a little bit more prominent. Okay, always working in small doses, not too many changes at once. Okay. So this is basically the structure that I have planned for my stream. Monday and Tuesday, it's more content. What I mean is I usually have two separate things I want to do in the day. First, or like the first part is of course the quick sketch, then some sort of like video format where I do stuff like, as I said, that I did yesterday. I sculpted a character that the Dungeon AI, I think it was Dungeon AI, described to me, which was kind of fun. So I may do that again in the future. Then I have some more ideas that with that stuff we could do, and then just on Wednesdays and Thursdays it's more chill and more just working on a character or on the big project. So 2 days it's more conversation driven, and 2 days it's more content driven, I guess. Today would be more like a content driven day. Let's see her face again. Okay. Also keep in mind this bow, this curve shape from the upper lip is quite special for everyone. Can look pretty different for individuals. Some people have like a pretty like tight, what do you call it? Pointy edges in the middle. Some don't. Some have this round corner or this round shape. Yeah, just keep that in mind. That's very important in character modeling and getting details right. Okay, let's check her nose again. I think her nose is just a little bit shorter. I see that correctly. So let's push it in just a bit. Not too much. That should be enough. But I think this goes deeper in. Like that. Okay. The nose is looking quite good. The lips, I don't know yet if that's really correct. So yeah, as I said, I'm gonna pick out some topics one can talk about, or I can talk about, and then of course if there's any discussions, any questions. Some people have asked me stuff like technical questions or specific stuff about Blender, or also just stuff about ways to learn Blender or stuff like that. All of that is welcome. There's no stupid question, only repetitive questions, which can get quite annoying, but I'm not on that level that there's some repetitive question that's annoying to me because it's getting asked so much. I think the most asked question for me is either do you use any other program or how do you get started in Blender? That's probably the two most asked questions. And I mean, that's probably the question I would like to be asked the most, just because my whole purpose of my content should be, or I want it to be, to bring more people in this glorious 3D world. Basically, I just want to show people with my content that it's not that hard to get into, and also just want to show how much stuff you can just make with it creatively and how you can express yourself. You can even work in like 2D style in Blender. Of course, it's still kind of tied to 3D, but it doesn't have to be. Just putting in a little bit more detail into the eyes. There isn't that much geometry, so we can't do that much. But starting to get some shape in here helps us in the future. As I said yesterday, the ear is basically just a C shape, and then inside of this C shape you have this Y shape. It's basically going from this, and then you have one that goes up there. There you go. So this is the Y, this is the C shape. Pretty simple if you know how that looks. If we get to retopology, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's manageable. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay. Let's see from the front again. Maybe getting a different reference image just to get some more diverse angles or different angles. Okay, we're definitely getting there. We're getting there. That's all we want. Slow but steady. That's important when you're doing, especially if you're doing likeness sculpts. I haven't really reached the point yet of real likenesses with my sculpts, but I try to improve with every single one of them. So maybe at some point I can reach my goal. Okay. I'm quite hung up on the nose, just because I want to get it right. I think the nose is one of my weak spots when it comes to likenesses, at least. But I think in general I'm not as skilled with likeness sculpting than I would like to be. That's why I do so many recreations of characters or art or like artwork, because I want to really learn to recreate a character in 3D. Okay. Maybe adding some more fat pads down here. She's quite a thick girl, if you would call it that. If you want to call it that. So we have to keep in mind to get some fat in here as well. Nobody has no fat at all. So there's always something. Usually female characters have a little bit more of a soft and round shapes. That is partly because of the fat pads. They make everything softer. Okay, let me get this eyebrow right. It's such a bummer that you can't see the eyebrow in this image. There isn't really a good image where you can see the eyebrow, the skull, where the eyebrow should be, the bone. There's always something in the front, like in front of it, which is annoying. There's also some fat underneath the eye. Not too much, just a little bit. Usually then, if we're talking about my schedule, I would do streams Monday through Thursday, of course, and then Friday would be my chill day, and then weekend is my editing day where I cut my videos. Usually I can finish one of the videos in one day and then the second video in the second day. At least that's been the case for now. So far, I mean. course, not only working on YouTube or streaming, but also having a regular job, which takes up half my day. The other half is basically streaming and editing. I used to play games a lot more, but at some point I decided to give streaming and video editing, or video like content creation in general, another shot, and I don't know, this just feels more fulfilling. The problem I had before with working on projects was, first of all, I had basically no one I knew to share it with, and also just, I mean, I shared it on Instagram, but I don't know, that's not really personal. You just post it on there and then people slap on a like, the people that know you. There isn't really anything special. So my thought process was, maybe you could I could reach some folks with my content that may be interested in Blender, or maybe even just interested in art in general. I don't want to like exclude anyone. Of course, I'm working mainly with Blender, but that doesn't mean that you can share your artwork if it's 2D or animation 2D or something, or traditional even. That you can always for example, give people feedback or talk about their processes or their ideas right now, their inspiration. So I guess my long-term dream would be to have a small community, maybe, where you can share and like share your work and then get feedback, maybe have discussions about certain topics, share your inspirations with others. They can share them with you, and then you can just feed off of each other, always giving each other new ideas, maybe even working together, doing like a collaboration project together and all that. I think that would be cool. I thought about doing stuff like, of course that's still way too early right now, but stuff like, I bet there's some sort of website where you can just, with multiple people, collect images like Pinterest, and then once a week maybe make a, like, go in there on stream and talk, like, look at the images people posted, if it's like inspiration or work from them, and just talking about it, what maybe their idea was, what their inspiration was, and just, yeah, just having a talking about what everyone likes, talking about their passion. It doesn't even have to be art in general, just talking about what people like, what people are passionate about, what maybe the dreams are, and yeah, just feeding off of each other in terms of creativity and inspiration and ideas and all that. I think that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. So that's why I'm not only doing stuff like, so I did 2 beginner tutorials so far. One of them will be probably released next week. The other one is already up. And I think I'm gonna keep it at 2 for now. just 2 projects you can start with if you've never used Blender before. And then I'm probably gonna do some easy tutorials as well, because I would only wanna... So I wanna have a mix between tutorials and also like just fun challenge stuff or something. Just to not only hook people or interest people that are working with Blender, but maybe even people that are just interested in the creative stuff that I do. I remembered, I guess one of my bigger inspirations is Jazza. I don't know if anybody knows him. I mean, he's quite a big YouTuber. I remember, I think I started watching him when he had like 300 or 200k subscribers. Now I think he's at 5 million. Of course, over the years, it built it up. But he did not only do tutorials, I think he began doing tutorials, but then he switched to more like a challenge, or yeah, like these challenge or fun videos where he does like sculpting or drawing in VR, or sculpting with like real clay, or doing stuff like that. Or he painted a mural behind his face cam or his webcam, like his setup, or stuff like that. Just like creative stuff that is not only interesting for people that are also into arts, but also maybe interesting for other people. Okay, I think I have a good base for the next step. Let me see. Let's checking around. I think her lips can be a little bit bigger. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Let's look at her front view in my reference real quick, just to check. Maybe a few more angles, just to see if everything's looking right so far, and then we can go over to the next subdivision level. I think we can add some more volume in here. Okay. I'm trying to make this chin not too defined or too blocky. Trying to get a balance. Okay. More like that, maybe. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's check her profile view. It's not a perfect profile view, not exactly from the side, but better than nothing. Okay, let me change one more thing. Okay. Just checking different angles, maybe see some more details that could be a little bit adjusted. Okay. Checking all the angles. Maybe. And here could be a little bit more bad. Okay. Not too much though, keep that in mind. As always, it's a nice balance. So the reason I'm not only doing streams is because I enjoy editing very much, and this just gives me another outlet of creativity basically. I just enjoy making videos as well, so why not do both? And also having a YouTube and a stream is just like not only more fun for me, but also like the discoverability is just higher. Of course, if you want to make videos, you want to see people, like you want people to see them. So doing videos on YouTube and then also streaming, not only reaching the Twitch audience, but also the YouTube audience. That's also why I'm streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. Okay. Getting the lower angle right. Nostril can be a little bit thicker. Not too much. Just adding a tiny amount of thickness. Okay. Very small changes, as always. Just checking a few angles. If I see anything else I want to change, then I do that. But otherwise, I think that's gonna be it for today. This can be a little bit higher. Okay. Also, what's very important to get the face right. Looking at it the whole time, just without any hair, can make it look very different to the what you see in your reference. So adding hair can really add to the whole look. Hair is very important. So you can just put in a rough hair shape that can really add and help you see if your character is going in the right direction. Especially stuff like eyebrows. What you can do here, for example, just going in here, adding the eyebrows to check if they're right. Okay. She has quite thin eyebrows, but the geometry is pretty big, so the eyebrows are pretty big as well. Okay. Lips. Just using the mask tool to get some color in here. Of course, we can't get hair in there, but that's not too bad. Maybe go into the nose as well, just to get some shadows in there. And also the eyelids. I think we're going in the right direction. Let me switch to the material preview. I don't think we can. Oh, we can. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Probably not perfect. Maybe the eyes can be smaller. But other than that, yeah, the eyes are a little bit too big. Yeah, but otherwise, looks pretty good. Let me change that real quick. I think the eyes have to be out more, like that. And then we have to go back into sculpting the face and switch to solid view and just push this forward a little bit. Oh, one more thing that's very important is the connection between the inner corner and the outer corner of the eye. That can really define the face as well. And also can convey emotion, but not too much. It's more like a feature of the eye than an expression. Where's my neutral face? There it is. I'm working on this so much just because, as I said before, once we have the base right, we can add in the details. The base is the most important part of sculpt, because if you can't recognize your character while he's still while the sculpt is still rough, you're not gonna recognize him when you add detail. Oh, wait, what? Oh, material preview. Yeah, I think that looks better in terms of eye size. Maybe we could change this, the shape a little bit more. More like that. That's better. Okay. Looking at it, okay. One thing we can do, just go to layout and go to rendered view. I mean, it looks weird because the mouth is open and it just looks like she has no teeth. Which kind of looks weird. Oh, we have to change her neck as well. But that's gonna be it for today. So, today, of course, we did our pretty cool quick sketch. I think that was one of the coolest quick sketches we did so far. And of course, we started the new big project. Looks kind of rough still, but we're working on it still. So, of course, we're still in the early stages. There's still much to come. Tomorrow we're probably gonna maybe even finish her face and add rough hair that I'm probably gonna replace at some point with something more detailed. And maybe even work on her dress or her clothing in general, maybe not, but we'll see that then. So until then, hope you enjoyed today, hope you have a good rest of your day, and maybe I'll see you later. So